All right, hello students. Today we are going to be working on reading and writing decimals. So being able to look at a decimal in standard form and being able to say it out loud properly. I know a lot of people say things like 5.2. That's not the proper way to say your decimals out loud, so we're going to learn that proper way so we can communicate like true mathematicians. So let's go ahead and jump right in. 2/10 and 5/100 is equivalent to, an equivalent is a really fancy word for equal to, 25/100. Two ways to express decimals are standard form and expanded form. And we actually have an additional one, word form. And that's what we're going to be working on in a couple minutes. So expanded form of 25/100, it does break down into 2/10, kind of like the number 25, the whole number 25, kind of like how 25 whole things breaks down into 2/10s and 5/1s. This is very similar. Well, when we have 25/100, we have 2/10 and 5/100. So those are kind of similar situations right there. So this number is going to break down to 2/10 and 5/100. And we're going to review our place values at the bottom of this sheet. And in standard form, it would be 25/100. We're going to talk about how I was able to say that out loud. A number in expanded form shows the place and value of each digit. When we read and write decimals greater than 1, the word "and" tells you where to place the decimal point. And I'm really going to emphasize that. So the decimal, we won't say point, we will say the word "and." So let's go ahead and fill in our place values because that's going to be really, really important. So we've got our decimal point here. Let's go ahead and write the word "and," A-N-D, because we know that's how we're going to be pronouncing it when we get to the decimal. So to the left of our decimal is our whole numbers. We start with the ones, then we move into the tens, hundreds. Now it would keep going, but we only have 3 spaces, so we'll go ahead and stop there. And then on the back side to the right, just like with money, we have our decimals. Now, we talked a lot about the fact that there's no such thing as oneths. Our first decimal place is our tenths. Our next decimal place is hundredths. Then we have our thousandths. Followed by our 10,000ths. I'm going to have to turn this sideways to fit this last one in. And then we've got our 100,000ths. Now notice, for our decimal places, they look very, very, very similar to our whole decimal, or excuse me, our whole place values. There's no oneths. And with our decimal place values, we have to add THS to the end of each of those place values. So watch the next video for page 2.